like bright bouncer sort of thing. He only has like the slanty one right now, and he really likes being upright right now.
Did it say start streaming?
Kind of in my arms.
Okay, let me just see if it went live. Give me 1 second.
I did start streaming, and then it didn't.
It didn't tell you couldn't. Because the last time it said it was sassy and that you couldn't. Oh my god.
Yes, counter is 8.
We might be live.
Okay.
Are we?
Mhm.
We are.
Keep the grid
Our
open.
9th staff meeting?
I'll just keep the grid
Oh,
open.
because we also didn't like set up a thing.
No, I don't think we set up the thing.
You know, so we have a hand phone this year.
That's a good question.
Not yet.
No.
It's not been announced yet.
No. If you go to settings,
It probably should have been announced before we raised prices.
go to stream.
Contract has to be signed.
That is the thing. The meeting is up and streaming now.
Oh, it is up? Oh god.
YouTube just gave me a notification.
Oh, it's live, but I don't.
Looking at it.
Figuring out, hold on. Okay. Thank you. That's lovely. Well, but we didn't name the stream or anything.
Doesn't matter. It's November 9 staff meeting, so.
Well, it's not right.
You didn't name the stream.
God, can we rename the stream?
You should be able to rename it.
Here, if you want to start talking and hosting, I'll do that.
Oh,
Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the
yeah.
not December 9th Redux staff meeting. It's actually the January 13th staff meeting. We're on the other side of the calendar year. We will be going to twice a month staff meetings as we go to our final preparations for Anime Detour 2024 Glow Up. Slightly distracted. There we go. I was echoing in my ear from over here, so apologies. No, you're good. Sorry, we just had a little bit of visibility, so we are sorting those out. Thank you for your patience. I don't see. I have Allie is here. Allie, do you know if you have any board announcements? I think you have a few board announcements.
Board announcements.
Okay.
Go up there and make.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
We'll bring Allie up here for some Anime Twin Cities board announcements. We'll get started with that.
All right, move here. Okay, so I can get over here. Okay, so board announcements. Probably the biggest ones are we had the special election for 2 member-at-large replacements. That was Bruce Levine and Alyssa Johnson, both of whom were voted in by the membership, so they are now officially members at large. We also had an application by Christina Kramer for president, so the board accepted that. The ballots for that will go out next weekend. I'm bad at remembering dates, but they'll go out Saturday at noon, and then voting will run till Sunday at noon. Figured out what I did wrong on the emails, so you will get an email on that one this time. That won't be a problem this time around. So that's probably the main one. So I'm scrolling through the board notes to make sure I get everything. Probably the other one that's of interest in here. We have a legal retainer signed with a lawyer who specializes in nonprofit law. So if there are legal questions, the way the retainer is structured, it runs through the board. So he answers questions coming from the members of the board. So if you have a legal question that relates to nonprofit topics, relates to your department, reach out to your vice chair or to the board directly if you don't trust your vice chair, which I don't know why you would do that at this point. We've solved that problem.
Except if your vice chair can't edit the recording stream name.
Right. If you have a vice chair who
And they
can't
also
edit the
stream.
stream name, reach out to the board directly.
Maybe go above me, yeah. Honestly.
But yeah, reach out to the chair team was probably the best option. They'll connect to the board. If we have an answer already, we can connect that back, or they can give that back to you right away. Otherwise, we will reach out to our lawyer. His name is Brian Gravely. He's a cool dude. His daughter really likes anime. And I think nerd. Yep. I think that's the main things that are of interest for you guys. So If you voted in that last special election or received the emails for it, keep an eye out on your inbox next Saturday for your next ballot.
Awesome. Thank you, Allie. Congratulations to those folks. All right. We'll go ahead and get started here with some department updates. Okay. All right. Give me one second here. All right. I'll start with convention relations. See, a intake form for our partner convention has gone out. Looks like both KitsuneCon and BrassCon have already filled it out. And our convention relations head, Buttons, will be taking a short break. February 15th through the 19th, getting ready for BusyCon cycle. If you need her during that time, you don't.
You simply do not.
uh,
Bother me.
preparing for Amkey at the beginning of March, and Detour following that. And then after that, our summer cons. So that is from convention relations. Update from Sherry and Themes. The program book deadline is staggered for each department, so please look to see when your deadline is. As a reminder, the printer does need more time to print the book. That is why the deadline is earlier than normal this year. The reason they need more time is because we are ordering more copies. So please get your content in as soon as possible. Reach out to Sherry if you need help with the new process. And thank you to those who have gotten their content in. She needs to hear from the tabletop team. Please reach out to Themes about your book content. They do have a high volume of work, so keep that in mind if you see a little bit slower than usual turnaround from them. Let's see. From Lee and Video. Let's see. Looks like we're dropping down to 3 rooms, and they're going to hold a meeting to schedule discs and hopefully the streaming room. They're going to have that meeting on February 3rd. And he's just looking to confirm with JC that we will have a drive from Fade for the AMV room. That's usually par for the course, so yes, we will. That is it from Lee. On to Bruce from Tech Services. Contracts are in the process for lighting, audio, and other areas, and he's working on a tech request form for main stage. So look forward to that from Bruce and Tech. Let's see here. Let's see. Video gaming updates from Tan. So some pending contracts from vendors from last time. We're just waiting to hear back. 99% his folks all signed up in Eventney. Had some missed applicants. Getting those sorted out. Has requested 3 obstruction permits from facilities for video gaming for vendors to park. Reached out to Tech for some internet needs and some equipment needs. Just working on social tables to build the layout for the North Star Ballroom. And he's working with tournament organizers for a schedule to send themes by the deadline for the program guide. It looks like that's it from video gaming. Let's see. That's it. We covered radio requests. Let's see. For the dance. Dance update, dance and music coordinator Jason. DJ Auditions brought us 2 fresh faces for our Saturday dance. Diamond Xenos and Theology. Both have verbally accepted. DJ contracts will be out this weekend, including for our headliner. Is working on promotion materials and excuse me, art for the dance. So it's going to complete a proposal for our Friday night event this weekend. And also says thank you for all your patience. We worked through family obligations and travel this holiday season. So looking forward to making this our best year yet from a music and dance standpoint. Is also out there joining us virtually. Let's see. Room parties update from Ren. Currently have 19 room parties for the convention. We're sending out confirmations, next steps over the next few days. We spoke with it in the leadership meeting. They had been waiting on working with Reg to generate codes so that they can get their badges online versus kind of that old way of we have badges, hand them to them. So that way everything is trackable, it's historical in the system, etc. Other than that, once they get confirmations and things planned, they'll be working on advertising the parties on socials. That is it from them. Let's see. Let's see. Scrolling to see if I've missed anybody yet. Where should we say we go? I think that might be all I have unless. Okay, unless I missed some of these, there wasn't Tabby poked me and she didn't have an update from logistics. Do you have anything from volunteers? Nothing from volunteers. John, safety?
For about 31, 32 for a department. It's better than last year, but
Yep. We do still have some information out to our partner cons, so hopefully that yields yet some more folks to join us. I know that one of them had a staff meeting today, so hopefully we hear back from them. Allie?
Also, we will take volunteers from all departments for staffing the 18 plus wristband station. That's something you can do really easily. It won't even require math. We'll give you a cheat sheet.
Excellent.
It's a very simple job.
if you see that 3, 3, 29, and 6, right?
Excellent.
An easy way to rack up some extra hours.
Right.
Your room or your badge, whatever it may be.
Tony, facilities.
Nothing. Yeah. No.
Excellent. Photo.
We got some contractors to do the free cosplay shoot. Working on getting some more signage out there. And then hopefully have those contracts out by the end of this month so that we can have them officially on board with us.
Awesome. Thank you. JC, programming.
I sent you a message, but that's okay.
Oh,
I can talk.
it's probably buried in the emails from today. I'm sorry.
Actually, good job, you guys. Hey, just shout out like to teams that have emailed their updates. A plus, 10 out of 10. I would say.
Yeah, sorry about
Them
that.
before the meeting, that would be amazing. But like, we got them, so that's good.
So the main thing is programming panels do close at the end of the month, January 31st. So make sure you get them in. Make sure you nudge all the people you love that run great panels or might run a great panel to get them in. We do have way more right now than we did at this time last year. 147 versus the mid 80s.
Wow.
So it's pretty exciting.
Nice.
Exciting.
We still have a good lineup. We might actually tell people no this year, which we've been before. Good to have more. The main stage lineup is basically done. We also were essentially filling Regency a good part of Saturday with sort of pseudo main stage acts. So we have a lot of exciting stuff.
Awesome.
Look for social media. A lot of it will be getting announced too.
Right. As far as guests, we've got a lot of guest announcements. 2 came out late last night, early this morning. We still have a few more to announce. As far as registration, we'll be able to keep registration going pretty late this year, or I guess what would be considered late for us versus other years, as we don't have to manually print as many of those badges as we used to in the past. We'll be able to keep it open later versus having to turn it off so that we have to print as many, to 6,000 badges at one point. So I'll just be able to give our vendor a file and have them print them. So it gives us a little bit more time for people to register um, before switching it over to having them register as a walk-up. Um, Anything else from anybody? Brittany, Latura, Kristen,
Um,
folks online?
I've reached out. We just sent an email to Marco Promos to establish what our reorder timeline looks like for badge ribbons.
Mm,
I know there were many departments that had badge ribbons last year. If you are looking to use the same badge ribbons as last year, that would be awesome because it saves us as the con a lot of money. That's great because the reorders are definitely cheaper once we have something in. If you have something new, please reach out to me. Shoot me an email, CC the share team. That's totally fine. And we can coordinate if you don't have the ability to make a design for your department's badge ribbon. Again, these are engagement pieces to congoers. This is like us representing ourselves to Detour and kind of bolstering this culture of, hey, badge ribbons exist. We're still going to have the same pronoun ribbons. Those were very popular and we went through like all but a few last
yeah.
year. I'm looking at establishing that. I think we have to get that done within the next month, so sometime mid-February, I believe, is going to be the deadline for that. Um, and then additional announcements from the executive team. I'm sure some of you saw on social media, we established the sponsorship deck. Those are open and available for people to apply to be sponsors of Anime Detour, with some of those being social media posting, some of those pertaining to having content put in our program guidebook or tables in the vendor hall. So when there are um, organizations or events that want to contribute to our convention and you know about them or you work for a business that wants to do that, feel free to share that link. It's on our social media. We can post it in the Discord chat as well again, just so people can look at the tiers. Because I think it's a really cool opportunity for us as a big growing convention to like start getting more initiatives. I think the tier system is a great
Yeah.
like intro for us for that.
Yeah, additionally, we will be determining kind of the requirements and how it will work, at least for this cycle, um, on our press passes and sort of what that will look like, how they will apply, sort of what the criteria will be on those, what sort of accesses that they will have, their expectations, that sort of thing. Um, Similar to what Brittany is saying at a convention, our size and scope, some of those things we're a bit overdue on, and we do want to be able to help people to help to promote our event, whether it be pre-event, during the event, and post-con as well, for brand awareness, event awareness, things like that. Um, and so that can only help if there is, whether it be internet presence, print media, um, other types of, your standard media that do find out about us, locally or regionally and want to come out and find out what drew 10,000 people to the hotel and why are they all dressed like that? Um, what what is that is going on? So
The only other caveat that I have for this, when you're like recommending orgs or when like us as the executive team are going to be filtering through and selecting organizations, what they are applying to be sponsors, but we do also as a nonprofit, like we have to make sure that these like potential vendors, these potential sponsors align with our values. And that's something with the application process that finally gives us the opportunity to do. Whereas like before we'd be like, oh, you're giving our org money? Okay, let's try to work you in any way that we
mhm.
can. Now we have like a clear benefits offer. Here's what you provide for our org. Here's what our org can provide for you. So standardization, I
Right.
guess. Yeah.
And then along the lines with the ribbons, we'll get some uh, posts out so that again, as we talked about at one of the other meetings, that if people do attend a number of other cons, they might be familiar with the ribbon game, um, whether it be locally or regionally or even nationally, they might be very familiar. If maybe they only attend, uh, Detour or some other select cons locally, they might not be as familiar, or may have thought that it isn't something that um, just takes place uh, predominantly at Detour. So some social media posts to try and let people know, say, yeah, we do it too. It is absolutely welcome here. Feel free to do it, and kind of jumpstart that a little bit more. Like, our local conventions do, or other regional anime conventions, just to let people know, yes, please to do that here as well. And that's just another good fun thing for our attendees to do, and to promote fun at Detour. And then we kind of have our offshoot of that as well for staff engagement with each other, as well as the community. But then the community does it on their own as well. We did just talk about it at the leadership meeting. Again, for the rest of our community and staff, we do have a few areas at the convention that either are new and will be and have been placed, or a few that have um, shifted locations for one reason or another. Some of it because the space we originally had planned to spread out to the Millennium, we weren't able to secure this year. So we had to kind of reabsorb those thoughts back into the Hyatt, and move a few things around for this year. Next year we'll be looking for additional space at the Millennium again to try and increase different areas, and those kind of offerings, and kind of go a little bit towards multi-campus as much as we can across the street for what that offers us. But
Across the skyway.
it's, um,
Close midnight.
yeah. Um,
For security reasons. Like more there. Okay.
yeah, it's a very short street. It's not even the width of a regular street, so it's a very,
Out one direction.
yeah, it's only one direction, so it's much less.
Talk about the band.
Oh, that's even worse. So
Or them.
yeah, so
Together stuff.
we'll be promoting a lot of the, you'll see that in our maps and things like that. It's, our children's programming area and things like that. So there are a few new locations for a few things, and things that are new will be in locations. So um, that's really it. Otherwise, we're gearing up with like most of our deadlines for themes, uh, the room sets. Um, be a lot of social media presence with the rest of our guest announcements, um, final locations for things, uh, lots of different promotions for programming panels, photo stuff, sponsors, vendors, all those types of things. So we're pretty social media heavy between now and the end of con. Um, Really, that's it. Unless has anybody been watching the chat? I haven't.
I've been in that chat, yeah. There's just been a couple questions about signing in. Just email the chairman team. For now, we will make another form because with 2 meetings a month or email,
Yes.
that's obnoxious.
Yeah. I was thinking of that when we started.
And then for badge ribbons, I just put in the chat, subject to your email from your department, badge ribbons, and then your department, just so then I can keep it organized by subject line, because I'm trying to keep my email not quite a dumpster fire. So that will help.
I have one question. So we had talked about photography. We're gonna change our badges so they're more backstage. Do you guys need something from us, like design wise, for that we would like, or? I mean,
For the backstage, don't we already have backstage passes?
Well, I think she meant like the.
we need to yeah, more visible, because like last year we constantly got stopped and asked like, are we, what are we, what aren't we? And it's like, okay, we're photographers, and then it just kind of said staff. So I think something maybe a little bit different compared
I
to.
think she means like the size,
Yeah.
like the same size as our backstage pass, or the same size as our press pass, which I think is the information that our themes department has. Because didn't we just get an email from them about what photo needed on their badge?
Something about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's also safety things. For last year, we had couple people saying like they're part of the photography staff and they were like people that shouldn't have been there and stuff. So I think it's just a very like, we are who we are.
Yeah. What if we did a lanyard?
What?
What if we did like a reflective lanyard or something dumb?
Just put them in yellow vests.
God, because what's your safety color? Your safety.
I think that's what he was saying.
We
Um,
but it's also, it's just if you go up to like when you speakers and stuff, you get to show they want to see something, because then it, like,
No, that's
what they
totally
pay for.
fair.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we can, let's,
It's
leave-
kind of like just a really simple ideal model.
Yeah.
If you want.
yeah, I mean, we can definitely make sure that, 'cause they'll be pre-printed.
Yeah.
So, we can definitely make sure they are of that size.
Yeah.
And
Be super big. I think as long as they say like photography, comm staff, or
But
something.
I'm just saying we already have two that are at least going to be that size, that being the backstage pass, and then
Okay.
I think we're following that same size for whatever we're going to use for the press pass.
Okay. Yeah.
So, that kind of same, I don't even remember what the exact measurements are, but similar to kind of that rectangular,
Yeah.
what you would think of as like a concert backstage pass type
Yeah.
size. So we should be able to do that for that reason, and then we'll just need to determine what, from our end, information we want on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be able to take care of that.
Whatever that they have, I also need one extra one for fee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Thanks. Huh?
Let me open that.
It was
real
in
quick.
March. It was pretty. So I said it was pretty.
It's really close to the
Mhm.
date. Yeah.
Like a week before or 2 weeks before.
Tickets.
When does the vendor need to know by to print the adequate amount?
Tier 3. Why can't I open this? Let me click. Thank you. Sales end March 28th.
Yeah, that is day
Like the
before.
day
That's
before?
the day
Yeah, that's the day before for pre-read.
I assume, as with last year, that we're gonna have so there'll be a cutoff for the vendor, and then the rest will print. Yeah, the rest will print inside.
Is it gonna have any red head, or is it just you guys?
No,
No, James is still out of.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
filling.
He had meant for next year, and in the meantime, he just needed more department assistance. So now that we've gotten him a PC and he's a little bit more connected to his team and has access to Eventany, it's going a lot better for now.
Yep.
But he has tentatively said for next year
Yeah.
that interested in not being the red head at this time. I'll update you guys, and James will update you guys, and like we'll have an active conversation about it because this volunteer gig is not super easy and like super like conducive for everybody's life, and our life situations change.
Mhm.
So if there's situations where you need to like step away and your subhead steps up, or if you need to like temporarily divert to your vice chair, if you have a conversation, your vice chair can do that. That's also okay. I think it's really easy for any of us to have that reaction of like, this sucks and I'm dying and I don't have the tools that I need to do my job. And this is a free job that we do for funsies because we love anime. Like, so we have to be more communicative about some of that. So
Yeah, and along those lines, especially with staff and also department heads, especially during this time, if you guys need support of some kind, that's exactly what the vice chairs and the executive team are here for at all times, but particularly as we get closer to con. So if there's something that is stressing you out, if you need help with a thing, understanding of a thing, support with a thing, you need more staff, more time. There's, there's not enough funds in the department currently this year, or you're struggling to make something work. Please reach out to your vice chair or the executive team. That is such a key and one of the largest pieces of our position is to support you guys. We try to do our check-ins to see if there's anything we can help with. Outside of those times, feel free to reach out to us and say, do you have a minute? Can we talk? I need some help with something. Or, again, like Brittany said, there is stress that comes with planning a convention for 10,000 people. It's a lot of work. It's volunteer. We all have dogs, pets, annoying friends, kids or
Annoying friends?
well, I'm just saying there's all kinds of things that go on in people's lives that provide additional stresses that
yeah, and this is meant to be like a fun, engaging
yeah.
activity. I invest in this because I'm emotionally invested in Anime Detour. Historically, this convention has done a lot for me mentally and emotionally, and this is just me like having access and opportunity to pay it forward and work with such an amazing team of people. Even moving out east, like this is such an important community for me. Like all y'all being willing to be here and willing to tolerate me is amazing. So I just want to a soapbox now.
Yeah, it definitely comes with challenges, but we want to help each other meet those challenges as much as we can as they come up. We don't ever intend to intentionally inflict challenges on you guys, no matter how much it seems like it. But yeah, if there's something that you're just wrestling with, please reach out to us. Um, like I said, we've got about 2.5 months, and I know there's a lot of deadlines and a lot of information and a lot of social media stuff that comes our way as we're trying to fill all the different rooms and how many tables, how many chairs, how many hours, how many people, how many cards, how many all of that stuff kind of comes fast and furious in the next couple of months. But we've done an amazing job of building it for 20 years. So I'm pretty confident in a 21st year. Um,
We've matured a little bit.
yes.
We're trying to continue to mature.
Excellent. If there's nothing else in chat or here in the room, then we'll close this portion of the meeting out and move to the meeting after the meeting.
We'll leave 1 second for the chat.
Yeah.
Any additional questions for people hanging out virtually that you would like answered for everybody? Anything else?
You said something at the last meeting about staff being able to get their hotel rooms. Is that
No.
Purchasing?
yeah, purchasing?
Oh, purchasing because you don't want
Yeah.
like the room.
Share.
So that had closed with us.
Oh,
Well, I think our intent was to close it, to give people to the end of today's meeting. So that link should still be active.
link so.
Okay. Yeah, I can get you
Okay.
the link. Folks should still be able to do that. We haven't closed that until today.
Okay, I'll do it as soon as I get home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
For talking on rooms, so like if I need to get it for contractors, do I need to fill out a form for that and send that, or do I just put it in my budget within the budget? That was another thing I had to ask. Do I just send you like a spreadsheet with like, this is the money I want to spend and you guys do whatever? I'm used to college.
Right.
Like budgeting and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. If it's going to be for, rooms for contractors, then yeah, you just send it to me because it kind of be like vendors or
Okay. Is
something
there a
like that.
deadline for that or anything?
The sooner you know, the better. 'Cause I'll just be telling, the hotel like, okay,
That's not a good answer for an ADHD person.
Well-
Oh yeah, we need deadlines.
I mean, within by Friday.
By this week?
Yeah.
Can you guys send me a contract by this Friday?
Oh, you didn't.
I would say so. A lot of the contracts handled by our org are created and utilized by the department heads. They have to
I think
be by
we-
bylaws signed by Troy, the chairman. Now, with those contracts, feel free to work with your executive member, and then we will have those at the exec team. Also, feel free to just say, "Hey, I have a generic contract. Can we meet and just discuss the verbiage?"
Don't we have a semblance of
because-
one? I thought we did.
So that's why I was like, I'm waiting on Christina. She
Okay,
said she'd
yeah.
do it sometime. That
Okay.
was like, I want to double check.
Okay, yeah, well,
That
yeah. As soon as we get that contract signed, and then what's
have two people underneath staff too, and they're just, I think as long as they request it themselves,
yeah.
okay, because I don't have to do anything on that.
As far as if they are staff and they want the staff provided rooms, then as long as they have their applications in already through EventMe, then they will be part of the group that staffing department allocates rooms to. Does that make sense?
So did you have to agree? So now I'm wondering if I agreed to giving a room with staff.
You can go view your application and double check, and you can also make your edits and then let staff.
Yeah, you should have had to say, yes, I do need,
Yeah.
I do require staff housing.
Because
Or-
that's the like total list that they're going to export when they go to allocate who has what space.
Yeah.
Or if they want just access to the staff room block, which is just the set aside chunk of rooms that get an extra discount per contract, then they should book by really the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
But then they pay for that room.
So I understand for contractors, I think you said it was like 126, and then if there's two people in a room, do you split that cost between the two contractors, or is it?
Well, if they're going to be contractors for us, similarly to like, I mean, if we're going to pay them similar to like a vendor,
Mhm.
then we would, put that into the contract that, we're providing the room for these groups.
Yeah.
Part of the
So,
benefit that's
right.
involved there, yeah.
Yeah, it's more or less like if it's like two of them are rooming together, do you split the cost or do you charge each person as their own room? Cause I was filling out the budget, I kind of realized that I wasn't sure. So I have like two photographers that they all know each
Oh,
other.
I see, I see. I see. Typically, when in the request or in like the budgeting for it, you would tell us the number of rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can put in parentheses or put in the details for that. This contractor and this
Okay.
contractor.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it'd be hard to say, I think, when you do your budget, with the rates changing based on occupancy, it would be hard to know when you do your budget if you were
Yeah.
going to have 2 or 3 or 4 people in the room.
Yeah.
Where I guess, I mean, it would change technically the rate based on how many end up in the room. Um,
Yeah.
Anything else from anybody in chat or here?
It's in the chat.
All right, well then,
Yeah,
thank you
David.
everybody for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. As always, if there's anything, feel free to message your vice chair or the chairman group, or talk to your department head. Thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you guys.